Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you want to design and build a beautiful website, you can do it all in one place with Squarespace.
How interesting today will be to film for you to watch, because I have a lot of non-doing anything work. I'm checking invoices, I need to change a billing address for one of my clients. I might do some sketching later in the day, we shall see. But this is an accurate view of my life. I don't even know if you can hear me right now because it's starting to rain. It will be a short day for you to watch. It will be a regular 8-hour day for me. And then I'm gonna get Subway. You'll see that when I get obsessed with something, I really just have it all the time. Because why would I have not the thing that I fell in love with? Why would I have something else when I could have the thing I love, you know?
I've got this ocean view, wish you could see it too, but you were riding on a different kind of wave. But the jig is up, and it goes on and on and on and on forever. It's the end of the world, and I swear it's the end of the world, and I'm moving. It's the end of the world, and I'm laughing. It's the end of the world, and I'm very sure. When it was me and you, and life was swimming too, we thought that we'd be together. But the jig is up, and I'll be gone, so gone, so gone, so gone forever.
Okay everyone, welcome back. I have finished all the things. I ate my Subway, I did all my admin crud that I had to do, and now I can work on this painting I want to do. I kind of want to do like a tiger that's really huge. Maybe I'll put it on the screen, but I've done a little sketch and I just started doing this border. I was like, oh cool. You know, it'd be awesome. Imagine if I knew more about my heritage and I could use ornamental design from that culture, which is my mum's side. So then I started researching Peranakan culture, which is like our culture, and I found a thesis that was like the crossovers between Japanese, Chinese, and Peranakan design and art. I really want this year to be more research driven work, or more work that has more symbolism in it, or work that I've done research to pull more details and elements into the world that I create with my work. This is the first step for that. It's like a New Year's resolution, and so I'm making good on that. But yeah, I really like this so far, so I'm excited to see what I can put into this border to make it more like a part of me and learn more about my identity, because I'm like a pathetic excuse for a half Singaporean girl. I don't really know very much. So it's like I want to feel more connected to my culture and my family, especially not being able to go back for a couple of years and see them. So it just feels extra urgent, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm so sorry for this boring day, but this is real life. I'm only 18 pages in, but this is a thesis about art and patterns and motifs across the Indo-Pacific. The person that wrote it was like born in Singapore, I think, and living in Australia, and they also lived in Japan. And they're Peranakan, which is like Singaporean Chinese, which is my family. So it's like really specific to my experience, even though there'll be differences, of course, but I'm so excited to learn more. She goes into detail about her grandparents and stuff, which is really interesting. It also makes me want to learn more about my ancestry. And I think my uncle Desi knows a lot. And he also is a painter and uses a lot of Peranakan imagery and themes in his work. So it'll make me feel closer to him as well. So I'm so excited. Pretty good. Aww. Yum. Natasha used my paper. Oh, that's so cute. Aww. Oh, these are so cute. Aww. Oh, I love her. This is such a cute little package. Cute. Yee! These are so pretty. Cute. Is this matching? Yeah, Rock and I can be matching.
Show and tell?
Okay, so first of all, a shirt for me, the mixed feeling shirt.
That's awesome.
And you have one too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. There's something on the back I didn't even notice.
Good, I'm gonna wear that right now.
I need to change the brightness of this. All right, jeez, Louis. Let's go. He had to go because there's someone at the door, but oh my god, Natasha, you're crazy. I will be sending you stuff. I don't have anything right now, but when I get stuff, you will be getting stuff. And I'm gonna send you snacks. That's a good idea. Okay, I just had like such an ordeal. It is like 5 p.m. and I am about to start my work day. So bad. The day started off good. I had a hair appointment, got my hair cut and dyed. I feel cute. Got here, realized somewhere from my hairdresser to my studio, I had left my Apple Pencil. I need it today because I'm doing the line work for my next painting. And so I'm like, oh, okay, that's really annoying. I'm gonna go to the Apple store, like the closest one, and I'll just get another Apple Pencil. Annoying, an hour out of my day, it's fine. So I go look it up. Stupidly don't look at what I'm clicking. I'm just like assuming that it's gonna do the closest Apple store. It does like this random store that's not even the Apple store. And I'm on my way to this random store, like I'm following the instructions for this random store. And I get on the bus. When I'm almost there, I look again and I'm like, what is this place that I'm going? So I get off the bus and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna book an Uber to like the nearest shopping center that has an Apple store. It's going to get me there 20 minutes before it closes. And I get an Uber and I'm there and I don't know how to get in the shopping center. And then I get in and I run to the Apple store and I thankfully get an Apple Pencil. Such an expensive mistake. It just feels dumb because it didn't have to happen. If I had just not been clumsy with where my Apple Pencil was, it would have been fine. Grrr! So I am paying for that now. I was like, should I go home and just do stuff at home? I'm like, no, I'm gonna have a work day at the studio and just get like a solid 5 hours of work. On a lighter note, I did the research. I read through that thesis that I was reading the other day. And I've got like I've got a better understanding about like Peranakan art now and like symbolism in Peranakan art. And it's so interesting how many parallels there are between my work and Peranakan symbolism and ceramics. The inclusion of nature, like the colorfulness. I'm gonna let me put my thing down because it's just too much. Back in the day when, you know, when women had suitors and stuff, when Peranakan women hit like puberty, they were like not allowed to go outside anymore and they would spend their life in their home, and like the homes were really open and stuff, but still it's not the same as going outside. Like they would spend their days doing craft work and embroidery and stuff, and a lot of their crafts work included like natural elements and plants and animals because they didn't go outside that much. And I feel like that's my life. I feel like I don't go outside that much when I paint a lot of outside things, and I feel like I have symbolism in my work for specific things, but it's nice to see what symbols are in that art because I would love to include some of that in my work, like include a part of my identity in my work. So yeah, that's what I want to do with my like Lunar New Year piece, which is like a Year of the Tiger piece. I included some like symbolism that I had discovered through research, and I want to try and include like inspiration from like the Peranakan palette, which is a lot of turquoises, peach colors, yellows, greens, you know, like it's just so exciting. Just like a new direction, like very slightly new, very similar, but it's exciting to think about it in that way. Also, something that was interesting when I was reading that thesis, they mentioned my uncle in it. So my uncle is like a painter, but he's also a design teacher. He's also like a playwright and a food critic in Singapore. And they mentioned his work because it was a part of like a Peranakan art festival. So like, so cool. I like sent it to the family group chat. I was like, look, Uncle Desi, your work's here. I'm rambling. So you were gonna see a lovely sunset in the studio today, and I will be doing the refined line work for this Lunar New Year piece that I want to do. Like I haven't done a tiger in a long time, but I just had this idea. Today I'll probably just do like refined line work and color test, and then tomorrow I'll probably get some printed after my meeting with Chris and but that's what you'll be seeing. Yeah, sorry for venting, but it was just chaotic day. At least my hair looks cute. That's all there is. Anyway, let's do it. Wasting time, let's do it.
When you were all alone. I picked you up and took you home, but now you've forgotten me. When I knew you, when you didn't have a friend except me. Then, after the thrill was gone, you made up your mind to travel on, and now you've forgotten me. When I knew you, when you didn't have a friend except me. But I know someday we'll meet.
Oh, time to go home. Did all the things. Did all the things. Kind of time to go home. It's called
My
Cinderella.
love as you did then. But maybe I.
Sisters. This is Aysia.
I'm Aysia.
Aysia's helping me in the studio.
Yeah.
So I'll be painting and Aysia's gonna start editing my next video, which is what you're watching right now. Anyway, that's all. We did it. We did a painting. First painting of the year. First painting of the year. Boom, 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 boom. First painting of the year. First painting of the year. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm really excited. So this is my first painting of the year. It's a larger one. I wanted to make larger work this year, so it feels good to do that a little already. And I'm really happy with the piece, so yay. I might make it into a Rezo print. I haven't decided yet, but keep your eyes peeled for that because I think it would make a great Rezo print. Someone else suggested that and I was like, oh my God, true. So we're going to do a little Q&A as per usual, and I want to say thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I'm going to give you advice that I was given when I was 20 by a creative director for a company that I was interning for. He said that you should make your work as easy to find as possible. And this means obviously having a website, but this also means when you have your website, make your portfolio the first page. The more clicks that it takes to get to that point, the more chance that people will have to like exit and just move on to the next person. It's not just the final artwork that people are interested in, it's also how you got there and your design or creative thinking behind each project, because it shows what an asset that you are for the project. So what I do with my website is for my homepage, I have my portfolio. It's like a gallery page. Squarespace offers these pages. It's basically like you can upload photos and then each photo will open into a new page. And that's just a common page on Squarespace. It makes it really easy. Then within that, when you click onto it, you can put in text and like a series, lots and lots of photos so that you can story tell the project. So I would do the final image and then I would do sketches and or detail shots of the project, and then in the description I would talk about who the client was, what the brief was, and how I approached the brief. And all of these things I think will give you a better chance of landing the client, because it shows not just the work you're capable of, but the thinking that you're capable of, which is even more important, I think. All of these things are super easy to achieve with Squarespace. A click of a few buttons and you've got a full-blown website. If you have not tried Squarespace before, go to squarespace.com/furrylittlepeach. You'll get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. Yay. Okay, let's do the Q&A. I feel you touched on this in a video a long time ago, but how do you keep your current and old physical and digital work organized? Physical work, I'm kind of good and kind of bad. I've got my big set of art drawers there, so I keep all of it there now. But prior to that, I had these big folders that I would keep. It's not really organized, but everything is wrapped in paper and labeled and then put in there. So a lot of the older work is, and the newer work is just in the art drawers, because before I was scared that cockroaches were going to eat my paintings, so I wrapped them all in paper. So like, it's not the best. It's not like it's like archived into a year or anything like that. But I do keep it well because it's important, you know? And then with digital stuff, it's all on hard drives and that's well organized. It's in folders. So yeah, it's kind of just like get a big thing and chuck all the files and all of the paintings in the thing. I don't know if it's that good actually. I've seen in some videos how you and Rocket collab on some Samsung stuff. When you and Rocket work together, is it easy breezy beautiful cover girl, or do you all ever disagree on the creative vision? Hello from hot and then cold Texas. Oh no. For every single thing we work on together, there's one person whose project it is. So there's one person that has like an executive decision making. Also, when we do work together, I think we're both aware that it has to be super organized, because I don't know. Especially when I'm doing it, I will be organized anyway, so the vision's quite clear. Any sort of disagreement that has come up is more just like misunderstanding or miscommunication, and then that's resolved really quickly. But I'm blessed because Rock and I work really well together, or at least like I think our working styles complement each other, and we have like similar tastes, so it's good. All you gotta do is find your creative soulmate. Not that hard. What do you find are the best ways to promote your business? I feel like I'm trying, but then nothing. I don't know like what you do and what your business is, but I don't see my social media as like promoting my business. I kind of just see it as like documenting my process. So I don't know if you're like an artist or you have like a brand or something, but I think in both cases, you need to think about like who is looking at it and what they would find interesting, inspiring, or educational. Like you have to be offering them something. If you want people to give you money, you have to be offering them something. I think my advice is to just be more aware of like the platforms that you use and the people that are looking at the stuff. It's just really hard to say without knowing what your business is and what you're already doing. Maybe DM me and I can give you like more specific advice. If you go back in time and give some advice to your child's self, what would you say? Lots of love from Sydney too. If I was my child self, I would say start seriously making work earlier, just so I could be ahead now and it's like cool. But if I was going to give it to my like teenage self or like young adult self, I'd probably say like go to a therapist earlier, so it's like easier to sort out problems. Nothing work related. I don't have any regrets work related. I'm really happy with who I am and I feel really confident and comfortable with who I am as like a creative. So like at least I got that going for me. As an illustration student at uni, I struggle with the feeling of my art being too cute, too decorative, and not deep enough. I'm told that if you really want people to connect with your art, it should be coming from within your most personal self, which is oftentimes not as pretty. Do you ever feel like you're not being taken as seriously as an illustrator because your work is more happy and not so much about serious personal topics? First of all, who's telling you that? Think about that. You need to take criticism with a grain of salt because you know yourself best and you know your work best and the work you like to make. Second, going back to actually the advice question just then, if I could tell my younger self something, it'd be like, stop stressing about how people perceive your work because it's honestly taking up too much of your brain space. Like, I feel like I was caught up a lot with like, oh, my work's not cool because it's so happy and all this stuff, but that was just like unnecessary. The way to combat people's doubts in you as a creative is to just be prolific, because I think that if your work is really cute and it isn't seemingly like full of depth because it's happy and decorative, I feel like the way to combat that, especially like looking at famous artists, is just being prolific and having like a huge body of work. If you stay true, people cannot tear you apart because you've done it consistently. You're not defaulting to that work because you're lazy or because you're not deep. That's the work you like making, and that's fine. If there's like a retrospective of your work in 10 years and it's full of this stuff, they can't say anything. So just have solace in that. And also, no one cares that much. Someone may say a stray comment here, but they're not like seriously focusing on your work, and they may not be your people. Find your people by just making lots and lots. What are your favorite things to do when you're unable to get yourself to work due to depression/anxiety? My dad has been in hospital in critical condition for nearly a week and will be there for a long time yet. I have so much to do, but all of this is a huge toll on me. I need some distractions other than television. Firstly, so sad, so sorry. Secondly, don't put pressure on yourself to be productive. If you're looking just for a distraction, literally just pick up your nearest art material, especially if you want it to be art material related. Pick up your nearest art material and just like do whatever. Even just copying cartoons or like anything to keep your hands and mind busy. But like also, you don't need to be doing like creative work when you're like feeling depressed and anxious. If you like go outside, do things that are completely unrelated to something that you would usually do so that you can be distracted and you're not reminded of stuff that's really upsetting. And also, if you can't get out of this feeling, don't beat yourself up on top of the feelings of anxiety and depression, because that's even makes it even worse. Like feeling guilty for having those feelings and not being able to get out of it is not helpful. You said you have a lot of work to do. Does that mean like it's client work? If it's client work, I would keep your clients in the loop, because this is very understandable. If a family member is in hospital in critical condition, like kill the client work unless obviously you need it to like survive. They will understand they will be okay with shifting it. That's crazy. It's okay to let people know that you can't meet a deadline if there is a deadline and you have a serious thing like this. It's like very understandable. It's honestly fine. Have you ever had a part-time job while doing illustration work, like a regular job as a waitress, for example, and then had to do illustration work as well? If so, how did you manage not be tired and have energy for everything? Lots of love from Barcelona. I was a waitress at one point, but I was a teenager and I was still living at home, so it wasn't as like much pressure. I was illustrating, but I wasn't like doing the client work that I'm doing today. So it's very different. It's starting to rain. I'm really sorry if it gets really loud. Hello, Sha'an. I wanted to know if you have any tips/places to look on finding long-term art studios. I currently live in Australia and have been having a hard time finding a private long-term art studio to start my career in. And also, what other artist channels do you watch and gain inspo from? Oh my god, the rain. Check out my last video to see like artists that I like to follow. In terms of looking for an art studio, if you're starting out, you don't really need a private studio. Like, I would just focus on the work, not the lifestyle of being not the romantic lifestyle of being an artist, unless you actually need the space. If you're doing illustration, all you need is a table, you could do it at home. It would save you a lot of money. If you're looking for art studios starting out, you could also look at residencies and like cheap shared studios. And if you want something like what we have, Rocket found this on like a commercial real estate website. So if you're looking for long-term, commercial real estate is really good because the lease terms are usually like 3+ years. Also, just so you know, if you're looking for commercial spaces, you need to have like a tax history and like reliable income history, which is not always applicable for like artists starting out. When I started out, I was literally working on like my floor in my apartment that was one room. So like, you don't need fancy stuff. Do make the best decisions for you, and don't get distracted by like what you see other people having, because it may not be the best for you, and also it may not also be the most economical either, especially if you don't need it, but you might need it. I don't know your practice. So hey Sha'an, Happy New Year. I was wondering how you feel about people copying your artwork. I see many copycats online. Majority are young, so it's not surprising, but I imagine it must be discouraging to some degree that others copy your work and then receive praise for it online for artistic traits and stylistic choices that are so obviously tied to you. I feel like I'm not that concerned with this. I feel like when I see people that copy elements of my work, it just annoys me that it's not done like in the way that I want it to be done. Maybe I see my work in a very specific way and there's like a lot of nuance that I see in my work. So when I see someone copying my work, it doesn't look the same to me. I would hope that they find their own voice, like especially artistically, mainly for their sake, because if you're copying one artist, then you're just going to be second all the time. And you're not going to be able to develop your own ideas because you're used to just finding it through someone else's work. I mean, I have been annoyed in the past, and I think it's more when it's like copying everything. The style of my videos, like the titles, the color of things, like my work, like whether it be like directly stealing. When it's like all of the things, it's like it feels like they're trying to imitate me as a person, and I don't like that. But I'm not really like brought down by it. I'm just like, oh, that's annoying. I don't think about it that much. It's just when I see it or it's brought to my attention that it's like frustrating or whatever. I've got like 10 years ahead of them, so it's not like they're going to steal my work from me, and they're not stealing my clients. Like there's so many parts of my business that makes it my work that isn't just the drawings, that I feel really comfortable when I see stuff like that. I don't like it, but I'm not like super stressed out by it, especially if they're like young artists. Just try not to pay attention to it. If it really bothers you when someone's like constantly copying you, I would just reach out to them privately. You don't want to put them on blast because they're like a young artist, and you don't want them to be so discouraged that they never make work again, because that's just awful. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A and video. I hope you like my new painting. I'll see you super soon because I have another video coming this month and it's almost the end of the month. Yay! Okay, bye.